Hello everybody, nice to have you here. Today, I guess it will be short but interesting, and what I want to talk today about is about the Adobe API Mesh again. And if you haven't followed me, then I'll basically send you to this video. It's describing what the Adobe API Mesh is, because today we're going a bit more deeply, and if be more precise, we're going to API Mesh logs. Yeah, before I will start, please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, like your video, or write me a comment if you want to hear something else, or if you didn't like it, then also write me a comment and I will try to improve myself. Let's directly jump in, don't want to waste your time. So some time ago, Adobe released the new version of API Mesh CLI, and what is more important for us, they added the API Mesh log forwarding. And what is even more important for us, it's log forwarding to NewRelic, as NewRelic is a native log tool for Adobe Commerce Cloud. Then it would be much useful to be able also to debug our API Mesh within the NewRelic, see the logs which come in and out. And today I want to just show how it looks like, that you know it's there available. As you see here, it's an experimental feature and may not function as expected. Till now, I haven't seen any issues with it, so let's have a look. So to configure it, you need to run this command. It's quite easy. Just go to the terminal. It's have to be in the same folder where your Mesh API is located, and also if you will do IO where, you will see where you're currently located. And because all the commands you will run will be against this namespace. Then we doing API Mesh log forwarding, and it will ask you to basically two questions. One of them is NewRelic URL. The URL you can see here, it's which URL to enter depends on NewRelic. And if you go to NewRelic itself, you can just check the URL. So in my case, it's EU1. Then this means I need to take this URL. Sorry, let's repeat it again. So in my case, it's this URL, V1. And then you need to add your license key. To get your license key, you have to go to your administration, to your API keys, and then you need to create a new key for your account, and it's have to be ingest license. Then you do name and the key, and after you will do it, you will have a key on your screen. Copy it because you will never see it again. And then you enter it here. After it's done, your log forwarding is completed. And this means you can more or less directly jump to the NewRelic itself to have a look what's happening there. So for sure, to get some logs, you need to have some API Mesh ready and to call it several times at least. So that's something we can do. What I can advise you, if you forgot your URL or forgot your mesh ID, you can use IO API Mesh get, and it will load the API Mesh of the current project. And in this case, you can find the mesh ID here, and then you just paste it in URL through this URL, which is sandbox in my case. And you will open the mesh itself. So I use the API Mesh from Adobe training. It's located here, Adobe Commerce Partner Days, and Lab Mesh. That was example of the mesh config where you merge in your Adobe Commerce GraphqL with Ratings API, which basically providing you the rating field inside of your standard products output. That's something we can do now. So here is a small example of the native Adobe Commerce call, where you call in on a simple product UID and the name of the product. Additionally, you have the rating and average total fields. those fields are coming from external API, which been injected through the API mesh to our endpoint. By the way, that's a very good use case of usage of the API mesh. Yeah, so means if you made this call, means some logs have to already been landed into the NewRelic. So after your configuration, you can go inside and it will be more or less empty. If you'll search for logs, you already see there is some data coming in, which is quite well. I mean, I would say that's an invocation of our GraphQL API mesh with endpoints and some data. But I mean, see the list of the logs. It's nice. It's already something you can work with, but that's not the perfect state, I would say. And Adobe guys been so kind to us that they also provided the dashboards. Dashboards more or less helping you to build or to have the nice overview of your logs. To create a new dashboard, you can go to dashboard section, create new dashboard, and then create the new one, define some awesome dashboard as a name, create it, and then you can import, I guess it's somewhere here, manage.json. And for that, here is an example dashboard provided by Adobe. You can just copy it. Here is it, just to make it nicer. One quite important point. That's just example dashboard, and the dashboard rely on account ID here, which is for sure if you'll paste it in your dashboard will not show you any information. So for that, I just want to get my own account ID and replace it everywhere. So if we will do this one and we'll replace it with our account ID. Let's do it. So it's 5 places where you need to replace it. Then you copy it, paste it here, and save it. And this will add you a nice dashboard without any data. Why without any data, you will ask me? Because, so let's make done editing. You see that this dashboard has 2 fields here. Mesh ID and Ray ID. Mesh ID is your unique mesh ID, which you can get from IO API Mesh. That's what I will do. IO API Mesh get config. Let's copy it from here. And you see our requests. They're already here. It's really nice. The Ray ID is a request ID. So basically, if you want to debug any particular request, you can paste it here and it will show you on this one single request, but we will try it. So we have a request count here. We have request methods over time, which come in, what is the response status is, what is count of those response statuses. I don't know, by the way, why it's 0. Don't ask me. Hope it's just a glitch. So, and as example, you can see here also the worker logs with logs information about every request. And if you'll take this logs and let me, what I prepared, I just wanted to, I just wanted to format it a bit nicer. So then you see what is there. So it's parsing request to exit parameter, processing parameters. Then you have the request which is coming in, which parameters and what's been sent with which headers. The critical headers been removed. And then response of the request. And then also which another request been sent to another API. So you can see quite a lot of information here. With one negative effect that it's so hidden here with this encoded JSON that it's not much easy to read. So maybe you can align the dashboard. I'll try it, by the way. That's quite an interesting point, but maybe for another videos. And also you can see basically the original request which is coming in. That's an access logs. So when request been executed. And that's technically it. You can see this Ray ID here. That's your one request, and you can also filter by this single request. Then you see only this one. So for this access log, for example, interesting that's not everything been updated. Okay, okay, that's interesting. But yeah. And I guess that's it. I mean, what else can we do here? I mean, we have a nice dashboard you can use, as I said. You can also query the logs if you want to. So if you open your NewRelic again and go to query logs, you can also query mesh logs and access logs. So you can do like this. I guess we need to provide mesh ID again. And then you see the logs. Again, not much comfortable options here. And again, there are no many options of how you can see this logs data. For me, I found only way is to really export them and then open it or highlight and wait a bit. I don't know if it can be improved somehow. If you know, I will be really happy to find out, because that's not the most comfortable option. But I assume you can really create some nice formatting of these log fields. Just need to give it a try. Ah, that's nice. Oh, that's very nice. So if you'll choose the type JSON, you will see the full output, which is much, much better than just CSV export. By the way, that's what I saw. It's cut off. Yes, and that's it. So if you want to see or have some central place of your API Mesh logs and also see them through the time, so you don't need to monitor them yourself, so you can use this log forwarding and analyze, let's say, amount of the errors on your request, or also see what's going wrong and where requests are going to. Hope it was interesting, even if it was not very long. And if you have any questions, we'll be happy for your comments. And in other case, we see each other in the next videos. Bye bye.